I'll just pretend I have nunchucks.
It's about the nunchucks we made along the way.
Yeah, yeah.
It's about the nuns we've chucked along the way.
It's about the nunchucks we've nunchucked along the way.
But how many nunchucks would a woodchuck nunchuck would?
If a nun could Chuck Norris. Speaking of millennial humor,
Bitch.
there's something I haven't heard, bitch.
We are not going to panic.
Look at this guy. He's a giant robot.
Shut the fuck up when grown men's is crying.
Great idea! Great idea!
What am I, fucking magician, man?
Am I some kind of fucking magician, man?
An icosahedron.
Icosahedron every day.
Sometimes twice a day.
Captain James T. Kirk once said, "May the force be with you."
What the heck even happened to you, man? Time to big brain. What is the airwolf of trains?
Good evening, Dynamites. Welcome to episode 151 of the Blockbrothers show, formerly the Lasercomb podcast, the show where we review a different episode of a different TV show each and every week as chosen by random number generator. I am one of your hosts, Christopher Siege.
And it's me, Cal, Neo Nunchuck Cal.
That's
Ready
right.
to bust a cap in some mofos.
This week on the Blockbrothers show, we are kicking things off with a programming block as chosen by our longtime listener and Patreon subscriber, Jared. If you want to do the same, you can go head on over to patreon.com/lasercomb, LAZORCOMB. $10 a month. You can pick a show for us to review a random episode of. $20 a month, you can pick up an entire programming block here on the Blockbrothers show, just like Jared did.
Oh, shit.
And we're kicking things off with a little show called Black Dynamite.
He's dynamite. So dynamite. He's dynamite.
Black Dynamite. Now, for anybody wondering what Black Dynamite we're reviewing the TV show.
Yes.
That's
As is the
yes.
game. As is the name of the
This is
game.
However, if you're watching on video, you'll notice that Siege, as his wallpaper, is from the movie.
That's right. Because here's the thing. True confession time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Despite the fact that Black Dynamite, the movie, came out when I was balls deep in working at Blockbuster Video and getting
Mhm.
free rentals and watching an awful lot of movies in the pre-streaming days, I had never actually seen Black Dynamite. I was aware of it, but I had never seen it. I always thought it looked funny because working at Blockbuster back in the day,
It seems like such a you movie, though.
working at Blockbuster back in the day, we would have a DVD playing constantly that would just be like trailers that would loop, movie trailers that would loop all day, every day.
Yeah.
And it would change every month, and it would play loop trailers for movies that were coming out that month. And I distinctly remember the one for Black Dynamite because it always stuck out to me because I'm like, this actually seems really funny. I never watched it because my girlfriend at the time said absolutely no, under no uncertain circumstances are we watching that.
What?
And Well, not to get too deep into that, but basically in that relationship, if she said we weren't watching something, we weren't watching it. That's just how that was. And, and then I just for whatever reason I just never circled back to it, even though like it is like you said, it seems like a very me movie, and I'm a big fan of Michael Jai White. Like I think he's great. That Spawn movie actually pretty decent.
I don't care. Yeah, whatever. Say what people want about the CG. It was top of
The CG is quite bad. Yes, it has not.
the CG is
aged well.
quite bad, and it wasn't the best when it had come out, but it was fairly good when it had come out.
That
I
shot,
still like it.
that shot in the that was in like the trailer and TV spots for Spawn, where like the mask like opens up and
That
like,
was
reveals
the
his
most
face.
hypest shit in the world.
When I was
man.
12, that blew my fucking mind.
That was the hypest shit. Other movies had like masks or things forming over people's face because of Spawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Totally.
that kind of made like a weird CG trend of like CG armor like climbing or moving
To this
across.
day, like even in the
Spawn
Iron Man
walked
movies.
so Venom could run. is
So
what I'm
Venom
trying
and
to-
Iron Man could run. Funny you mentioned Venom because both Venom and Spawn were designed by the same person, Todd McFarlane,
That's right.
whom
Shit.
I've met actually.
But
So yeah,
you
never
were
saw
saying-
never saw Black Dynamite back in the day. Now,
I know you didn't. Do you know why? Because whenever I worked at the same Blockbuster Siege did,
Yep.
everyone, and I was the only fucking one who watched that that movie before Peek Behind the Curtain. We get like 3 to like 5 days to watch the movies before they come out.
yep,
That's right.
that was hype back in the day.
But then we'd have to wait a year to watch it for free if we missed it.
Yeah.
So guess what? For a year, I was the Black Dynamite person. They're like, oh, no, ask Cal.
Um,
And
yeah,
I was like, you look at the cover. That's what you're going to get.
mhm. Yeah, never watched Black Dynamite back in the day. Now, after I watched the episode of the Black Dynamite cartoon that we are about to review, I was inspired to watch the Black Dynamite movie.
I could see that because I saw somebody left a review on our Discord, which come and hang out in the Discord.
Yes, folks, I for about the past year and a half now, I've been cataloging and writing short little like 1-paragraph reviews of every single movie that I watch on Letterboxd. So go to our Discord, link in the description
And this isn't just because
if you're interested in checking that out.
yeah, come check it out. It's not just me blowing smoke up his ass because I'll criticize things when I don't like them. Siege has the most tolerable and likable movie reviews I've ever seen without spoiling anything.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, like I actually liked your I like all of yours, but I liked the Black Dynamite review you just left. It's funny too because when you share the link, usually your whole letterbox post fits in the link text.
Yeah, I make a point of try. I for a little while there, they were starting to get a little bloated and like be like 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs. But
right.
I've made a point of like trying to like cut them back and just keep them a very concise, like 1 paragraph, like very to the point. Like this is like the gist of like what I thought of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I said about Black Dynamite, the movie, was better than it ought to be throwback to 70s exploitation films that saw something of a resurgence in the late 2000s thanks to Tarantino and Rodriguez's 2007 Grindhouse double feature. Michael Jai White sells everything with complete earnestness, but I can't help but feel this would have worked better as a 15-minute YouTube short.
I really like that last sentence.
And so
here's better as a 15-minute YouTube short. It's like, what was that Kickstarter straight to YouTube movie with like
I'm gonna bring that up. And
Okay.
there's a reason why I'm going to bring that up. Um, and so this is something that I want to touch on before we get into talking about this show, because
Yeah.
this is one of the reasons why the show actually works really well for me, and spoilers, better than the movie does. A problem that I have there was a trend in the mid to late, I would say from like probably like 2007 to 2017. There's about a 10-year chunk there where people were really trying really hard to intentionally make bad movies that were a throwback to legitimately bad movies from back in the day. Now, one of the
But
reasons
like
why
those out of every 100 during like whatever, like the way westerns, the way the black exploitation films worked, the way cheesy horror like movies worked is you throw 100 at a wall and maybe one of them is Friday the 13th or
yeah,
Halloween, which is just literally a dude holding a knife wearing a mask,
wearing a William
right?
Shatner mask, spray
Wearing a
painted
bad
white.
William Shatner mask, right? So that those eras are known to have like saved like Hollywood.
Well, and so from between like 2007 to 2017, there were a lot of people who were making intentionally bad movies that were a throwback to like
Mhm.
cult classic bad movies from like the 80s
Most
and
of them were
90s.
just bad though.
Most of them are bad. And the problem I always had with those is they never recapture the magic, because part of the magic that comes from those like great bad movies is they thought they were making something good.
They were artistes, like being like, I need to show the world my art. It wasn't, they weren't making it because they were trying to fit in a genre that was emerging
So
and
like
trying to be bad. Yeah.
so go back and watch, like, say, and this is a great example because it got a unintentionally bad follow-up that is quite terrible. Go back and watch Samurai Cop. The people who made Samurai Cop were trying to make a good Samurai Cop action movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's hilariously bad, but that's not what they were going for. And the fact that they were trying and they failed in such a like comical manner, that's what makes those movies so endearing. Now,
Yeah, it's if the room wasn't a dead serious, like if it wasn't supposed to be like an award, like a future award winning like drama, it would not have been funny.
yeah, Tommy Wiseau thought that he was writing something that was going to get him like a best actor nomination at the
Or best
Oscars.
writer or director or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
He was writing something he thought was going to be like his masterpiece, his magnum opus, and it
Yeah, exactly.
was.
Which is why so much mysterious money was poured into
And
it.
it was, but it not the way he intended. So if you try and intentionally make something like The Room, which people have tried, it's
Yeah.
not going to have the same effect.
No.
And indeed, Samurai Cop 2, like I said, quite bad because they were trying to make something bad.
Exactly. And it doesn't now you're trying to make a different movie.
Now, even the ones that are pretty decent, which I would say Black Dynamite, the movie, falls into that category. The problem that I have with the ones that are even like halfway decent is they kind of overstay their welcome. Now,
Yeah.
you alluded at the best of the bunch of these, you alluded to was Kung Fury. And you know what? Kung Fury is 31 minutes long.
It's 31 minutes long. And you know what? It would have been intolerable
If it
if it
was an
was an
hour and a
hour and a
half.
half.
Yeah. Kung Fury is masterful at the fact that it is a half hour long. It is just enough there. There's just enough there for it to be funny, and it doesn't overstay its welcome.
When a joke becomes like really cringe and it doesn't matter because you don't need to linger on it because that character's going to die or uh, like disappear in like 5 minutes.
Now, something like Black Dynamite, the movie, was funny, But I shit you not, after like 25 minutes, I was looking at my watch and I'm like, okay, I've had enough of this now.
It could have been different installments of YouTube, like movies.
Now,
Do you know what I mean? Like it could have been like Black Dynamite versus the cops. And
Yeah.
then like a year later, another 15-minute YouTube
Black Dynamite
movie that's
versus The Man.
the man. Yeah, exactly. And every episode be Black Dynamite versus,
Yeah.
right? Black Dynamite versus
Taxes.
the IRS. Or there you go, taxes.
And
I think that would have had, I mean, yeah, there's like no money like in that or whatever, but like it would have been, I feel like more fitting because from what I recall, again, haven't seen the movie in years. It did start to unravel and become kind of a parody of itself, which stopped being.
it becomes tiresome after a while.
Yeah. It hit a little bit less. What was the kung fu one that everyone liked? And like they had purposely bad dubbing, Kung Pao.
Oh, Kung Pao.
Yeah, that was. I remember that being better than
That was before that trend got started, but
it was. It was
yes.
early,
And it's doing something slightly different, but it's kind of going for the same. It's kind of going for a similar effect. I like Kung Pao.
I haven't
Kung
seen
Pao,
it
Enter
since
the
it had
Fist.
come out. Yeah. But I remember thinking it was okay. It was okay. Are there any of these genre of the resurgence of like bad movies that were good other than Kung Fury?
And if you say Manborg is one of them, fuck off.
I've tried watching so many of those, and you know what? They're none of them are really
Wolf Cop.
Axe. They were comics, though. The Axe Cop weren't those
Yeah.
like comics turned into like web, like YouTube, like shorts. Like that's a little bit different. But like that, oh, that's such millennial humor.
It is. I was just thinking that it's very millennial humor.
That's very millennial humor.
Yeah, no, Manborg was one that was recommended to me by so many people back in the day. They're like, oh, you're gonna love this. You like RoboCop, right? This is like a hilariously like bad version of it. And I watched the movie. I'm like, no, this is just fucking terrible.
This is just bad.
Like, and again,
It's okay
like
to admit that most people don't know what is good and bad art.
yeah, totally.
I'm not like the finest of connoisseurs, but I've come to realize that some people just like everything, or they're extremely hard to like please. Like some people are like, oh, I only watch movies like based off of like real life events, or oh, I only watch like I don't I like things that are grounded, you know, like the dads that only want to watch like Tom Clancy based movies, the Bourne movies, James Bond, like
Don't get me wrong. I like movies like that. But
yeah, but like the dad or like the uncle movies that are just like that genre, maybe Taken,
and that's all
Taken.
they watch.
Yeah. Taken, yeah,
Taken.
And that's maybe that's all they watch, right? And that's fine, but like most people just wanna
I've taken well, and
chill.
this is one of the reasons why I tend to not listen to like word of mouth from regular people about movies, and I've taken so much shit over the years for this because I'm like, well, a critic's opinion of or like a critical consensus of like a movie or a TV show is much more important to me than like a random coworker telling me that, you know, some movie they saw was the funniest thing ever. And I've taken so much shit over that over the years, but like it comes down to just like what you just said. Most people don't have great media literacy. Most people don't have great taste. And I'm not saying like people like, you know, like
I'm not saying they can't like things. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that critics are the be all end all here, but it's like the way I've always looked at it is
find some way to curate your limited amount of leisure time that your limited amount of time that you have in this life to consume media. And if one of the ways you curate that is with like reviewists that you enjoy and that you have a good track record with,
Exactly, yeah.
like if you're like, I like 80% of what these guys like, then
Exactly, yeah. I've talked
yeah,
many times over the years about like my favorite film critics, Bibbs and Whitney.
Bibbs and Whitney, yeah.
There are other critics that I like too, but they're the ones that I listen to consistently. And I don't agree with them 100% of the time. But I've been listening to them for so long. Even did an episode of a podcast with them many years ago now. But I've been listening to them for so long, and I've gotten a sense of like what their taste is. And it's at a point where I've like gone to see like big movies and been like, oh, I didn't really like that very much. And I came away and like from it and talked about it on a podcast and then listened to their review. And what they said was basically like 1-to-1, like what my take was on it.
And you know, it wasn't shaped by them because
it wasn't shaped
you listened
by
to it after.
Because I listened to it after I gave my opinion. So in situations like that, it's like, yeah, like find like people like that who you know tastes will largely align with yours.
And there's a lot of our listeners, and there's a lot of people that are like, "Ooh, I specifically am going to check out this Cal and Siege guys because they're reviewing my favorite thing." But we have some followers and some patrons that we've shit so hard over some of their stuff, but like we're like thrilled about other stuff that they've chosen for our review, and they've stuck around. So I think the biggest thing, yeah, is like find people that you can like agree with, or that your tastes align, and don't hold your identity so close, your fifis so close to like if somebody like disagrees with you. Like that's part of media literacy, is like gritting your teeth and going, well, hang on, this gives me a knee-jerk reaction, but like why is this bad, or why is this good, and why do I disagree? Like let's hear this out. Like you gave the Batman like 3 runs or something like that.
I own the movie.
You still came away with the same feels, right? But you were like, okay, like let me give this another go in a different mindset.
I know, I've watched it, like I saw it in theaters and I've watched it like 3 times since, and I even own the movie on 4K Blu-ray. I've given it so many college tries.
So many maximal
it's not even
tries.
it's not even that I don't like the movie. It's just
it wasn't a banger.
I said this at the time. It was just like that movie wore its influences on its sleeves, and I've seen so many movies over the years that I could see what it was drawing influence from. It was drawing.
What about the part where he's beating up goons and he's like, "I'm vengeance"?
It was drawing influence from very obvious influence from older, better movies. So I walked away from it just being like, I see what you're doing there, and other people have done it better.
So let's find out if
But I know so many people who walked away from that movie thinking it was like the greatest thing ever. Best Batman movie ever made.
I really liked it. But I have certain criticisms of it. Like the longer I go without watching that movie, the more I forget that Catwoman was even in it. I'm like, oh, wait a second. She was like kind of in it.
I actually really like Zoe Kravitz, so she stuck out to me.
I like her too, but like
apparently a lot of people
need
don't
to rewatch it.
If Reddit is to be believed.
Oh, Reddit's not to be believed, people. And on that note, let's jump into
let's get talking
Dynamite,
about Black Dynamite, the TV show. God, we haven't recorded in a hot minute here, so I'm very ill prepared. So I got to bring up the Wikipedia page.
Yeah, we covered episode 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yes,
Quattro.
we watched episode 3, Taxes and Death, and Get Him to the Sunset Strip.
Right. Oh yeah, this stars comedian frick. Sorry folks, I watched this about a week ago.
Orlando Jones guest stars in this episode.
Orlando Jones.
I quite like Orlando Jones. 2001's Evolution, very underrated movie.
Richard Pryor is in, playing like a weird
well, not actually Richard Pryor, but
not
Richard, because he's dead.
Yeah.
Richard Pryor is a character.
But like Richard Pryor the comedian is a character in this episode.
Yeah. So the episode opens with a previously on Black Dynamite, which hilariously enough, I like to think actually didn't happen in the previous episode, and that the recap is just fake.
You know what? I like that. I haven't watched much of this, so I can't disprove that, and I'm going to consider that canon. Previously on Black Dynamite.
It goes on for an extended period of time.
And you're like, that was one episode?
So the recap has Black Dynamite's accountant, Donald.
We didn't make it clear, Michael Jai White.
Michael Jai
reprising his role in the cartoon.
Yep. Very unmistakably the voice of Michael Jai White. Yeah. Great voice actor.
I forgot about his fucking accountant.
His accountant, Donald, who is
Donald the accountant.
Donald the accountant, who is telling him that he has to pay $60,000 in taxes by the 15th, or the IRS is coming to get him.
And indeed, they're chasing him down with.
They end up chasing him down.
Black style.
Black Dynamite keeps dismissing it, and finally, Donald the accountant is chasing him down in his car, and as Black Dynamite's being shot at, and Donald is like, I need to tell you about your taxes. He's like, can it wait? He's like, no, Black Dynamite, they're literally shooting at you. He's like, all right, get in. So he gets in, and then his accountant weirdly references the Terminator.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you're being chased down by the IRS. They can't be bargained with. They can't be reasoned with. They don't feel pity or remorse or fear, and they absolutely will not stop ever until you are dead. And
until you are dead.
I'm like, why are you quoting Kyle Reese in 1984's The Terminator?
Because they're that dangerous, the IRS. How do you think they find? How do you think ICE finds people they want to round up and kick out of the country?
Right.
The IRS knows everything, man.
Yes, they know. I'm not even gonna touch that one.
We're Canadian, folks.
Yeah, we
so
have the Canada Revenue Agency, who are much less dangerous.
Much less dangerous. My favorite is after I've done my taxes, they send me something in the mail that says, this is exactly how much you owe in taxes. And I'm like, motherfuckers, if you knew, why didn't you do my taxes? You know, in most countries around the world, the government just does your taxes for you.
There's been a call in recent years to actually, in Canada, do away with having to file your taxes because they already know the information. Filing
that's
your
what I mean.
taxes
They send you
is basically just an honesty test.
Yeah, it's an honesty.
Quite literally, they already know what you make.
And yeah, if you're a streamer or a small, you could go, hey, here's all my receipts for my business expenses, or barring things like that. They know everything. If you just work one job and you get paychecks, they know everything they need to know.
If you make a mistake on your taxes, they will send you a letter being like, no.
You made a mistake. This is actually how much it is.
And
and
to your
you
point,
either owe us a bit more.
To your point, it's motherfucker, if you already knew how much I made, why did I go through all this rigmarole?
Right. I know that it is its own industry in the US, like billions of dollars of companies that do taxes for people and stuff. by design.
The Canada Revenue Agency is so the antithesis of the IRS, especially in this, as depicted in this episode, that the CRA will generally avoid you if they can.
I challenge you to go on to the Canada Revenue Agency's webpage, which you will need to do about dozens of times throughout your life and navigate that. And it is by design the most taxing and difficult government website you'll have to navigate.
And God forbid you forget your login info, because holy shit, you are going to have to call, probably not get through because all of their lines will be busy. But once you can
Be on wait.
Once
Be
you
on
actually
hold, I
get
mean.
through, be on hold for literally like 2 hours.
But then it will roll over into the next day, because now your wait time went into the time they're accepting calls.
Yeah.
So then after waiting for 2 hours, they go, our hours of operation are blah, blah, blah. Please try again another business day.
But
And you're
then,
like,
like, once you're actually miraculously able to get through, you will get a person on the phone who will be like, "Oh, I can't help you. We'll reset your login info." And it's like, "Great. How do we do that?" "Oh, we need to send you a letter in the mail that has a 4-digit code that will
Can you
arrive
tell me
in
it
anywhere
over the
from
phone?
7 to 10 business days."
So you get this 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
It's yes, that's a good point. They are kind of like the opposite of the IRS.
Yeah.
They'll do everything in their power for you not to contact them.
Yeah.
So there you go. Hopefully you learned something if you're watching this and are American.
So Donald the accountant gets killed, and he's like, "Black Dynamite, come closer, I'm dying." And he's like, "What?" And he's like, "My last wish as I'm dying. Here, make sure this is mailed and postmarked before the 15th." And it's like his like tax info, like giving him like a stay on like paying his taxes. And the IRS show up. And I laughed out loud so hard. The IRS like catch up with him, and he's like, he holds the letter up and he's like, "Motherfuckers, I got until the 15th."
Motherfuckers, I got until the 15th.
I laughed so hard because it reminded me of like growing up and like just hearing family members like trying to like stave off like utilities getting disconnected or whatever, saying like, "Oh, I have until like blah blah to pay it."
What I like to
I'm sure you
call
can
a
probably
trailer
relate
park.
to that.
Yeah, what I like to call a trailer park talk. Where routinely bringing up due dates for bills and
Yep.
if or how much you can get for pawning certain items
Mhm.
to make those payments comes up.
And
So,
negotiating on the phone with Shaw Cable how much you are able to pay, not the full balance, never the full balance,
Oh, never.
but how much you're able to pay by whatever date in order to keep the cable vision on.
Usually while they have plastic wrap around a $300 tattoo that they just got. That's how you know I'm really part of the culture there.
And the like 24 pack of beer they have in the fridge.
Oh, well, that's a necessity.
Yeah. Oh,
That's a staple.
That's more important than buying food.
Yeah. Yeah, they're in the hierarchy of needs. What is that, Freud? The hierarchy. I can't remember.
Oh shit, the IRS is here.
Oh shit, they're in planes now. The hierarchy of needs. 24
Listeners,
pack of beer.
I live near an airport.
Yeah.
So I
24
hear planes
pack of
throughout the day.
beer.
Yeah.
Tattoos.
Lucky
Paying the bills.
specifically.
Sorry, Lucky.
Lucky, or extra old stock, or if they're feeling fancy, Molson Canadian.
Ooh, Molson Canadian. The equivalent of Pabst Blue Ribbon if you're listening from America. um, oh geez, where even were we? IRS flies by. Arnold the accountant dies. Donald the accountant dies. I mean, and he
Yep.
goes, "Curse you, IRS, for killing Donald the accountant." And
So we
then
go back
he
to-
goes to the orphanage.
The orphanage, his base of operations, which is a safe house for both whores and orphans.
Yeah. Of which the questionable nature of those two things being combined is brought up by what I assume every side character in the
Specifically
show.
Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor, who they end up rendezvousing with and bringing here, has some things to say about it.
Yeah, because Richard Pryor says later in the episode, he's like, what motherfucker thought it was a good idea to have the kids and the fucking in the same under the same roof, and Black Dynamite is like, mine.
He's just standing
It's
there,
very
and he's like looking
stone-faced.
around,
He's
and
like,
the kids
"Mine."
and the kids and the ladies and men, the hooers, if you will, adult entertainers.
Led by Honeybee.
They are all just like quiet, and they look
who's a
at
character from
Black
the movie.
Dynamite. Oh right, yeah. Oh yeah, it takes place before the movie, so there are characters that die in the movie in the cartoon.
Yeah. Well, and what I noticed was the cartoon seems to kind of retread some of the plot elements from the movie. Because, like, in the cartoon, it makes a big point about his brother, like, having just died. But, like, that's a plot point in the movie, too.
Yeah.
And, like, some of the, like, some of the jokes are callbacks to the movie as well.
Mm-hmm. The movie came out first, but the setting it's loosey goosey. It fits the genre of like things falling apart on the editing floor, the editing room.
I kind of I think when I only watched this one episode 3, but
Right.
I might watch more. Spoilers for my review at the end of the episode,
excuse
my
me.
rating at the end of the episode, but I kind of took it as like, you know how in like the Crow TV show,
Yeah.
it like kind of retells the plot.
Reimagines and retells the.
It reimagines the plot of the movie, but then goes its own way. I kind of got the vibe that the cartoon does the same thing.
Okay, that would make sense.
Yeah.
So the thing that happens at the beginning, and it bothers me, and I'll touch on it and move on, is the orphanage, all the kids, all the ladies, and it's like, this is for you, Black Dynamite. My girls went and sucked every dick in an 8-block radius.
Yeah.
And they like give them a bunch of money, and the kids like, give them their piggy bank money and stuff like that. And then he gets angry and rips it all up instead of, like giving it back to them, and is like, Black Dynamite won't take any handouts. And I'm like, dude. I mean, luckily they don't linger on that, but like, I really like, I don't like the humor because characters are, how do I say this? Highly, not quite magician, not quite Jedi.
Well, I thought that scene was kind of funny because he's like, Black Dynamite don't take no handouts. And then he like works through it, and then he realizes that he actually has to take the handout because he doesn't have a better idea. And he even says that he doesn't have a better idea. And so in like basically in the absence of a good idea, you go with the only idea you have, which happens to be a bad one.
That part.
Which happens to be
motivational. He gives motivational lines,
Yeah.
and he's like, yeah, and one of them is something like, in the absence of any good ideas, the best idea is a bad idea.
If the best idea is the only idea you have, which is a bad one, or something,
Which is a bad one,
which
yeah.
is I'm paraphrasing heavily,
Something
but he
like
ends up
that.
just
I did
he
like
ends up
that.
just taking the money because of that.
Well, no, he goes in mercenaries. Like he's like,
Oh,
I need
right,
to go
right.
do. Why don't you go do mercenary work? And the job he has is to go and look after Richard Pryor
Yeah,
before his show. Picks him up from the airport and all of that. Richard Pryor is picking up a armored vehicle with a bunch of money,
for some
which
reason,
for some reason you missed that too.
I didn't really understand that.
Damn you, Richard Pryor! I wish
I
you
kind
weren't
of just
so
took it
funny.
as, you know what, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. So they're in lots of hijinks. He's looking after him. His slimy like manager is like, "Oh, Richard Pryor," and it's kind of like Scooby Snacks. He'll like toss a little baggie of like cocaine, and he'll be like, "Oh boy." And
Well,
so
Black Dynamite keeps like saying his mission is to get Richard Pryor live on the Sunset Strip,
that's right.
which I found funny because, you know, I think one of his comedy specials was literally called Richard Pryor live on the Sunset Strip, and so
Yeah.
Black Dynamite keeps like stating
Just
it over and over again.
repeats that line. Yeah. Kind
Yeah.
of like how everybody, whenever they're referring to Richard Pryor, they just say his full name.
I find the humor of the movie was very much like trying to like recapture like a lot of those old like blaxploitation films. I find the humor
Yeah.
of the show is a little different.
It is. Yeah. Oh, no, it definitely is.
The humor of the
It's
show
written for cartoonic gag humor rather than for a plot.
totally, but
Yeah.
I find the sense of humor of the show is a little more silly and ironic, which
yes.
jives, no pun intended, jives better with me than the humor of the movie.
Where it's like the production was supposed to be low, but it was supposed to be in a serious way. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely silly. Silly, but adult. Because, you know, like guns, people dying, blowjob jokes.
Yeah, one thing I was annoyed by is the copy. I don't know if this is true everywhere, but the copy that I watched was censored, and there's a lot of cursing in the show. So, like, every other word I was hearing, like, throughout watching it was just literally just bleeped out.
Oh, I watched the uncensored.
And, like,
version.
I bought the episode on iTunes, so I'm a little mad that I got a censored
You should
version.
be. Yeah. Should be.
Because
mad.
it was very annoying. It was very annoying to just hear, like, bleep every other word.
Oh, yeah. And yet you still ended up.
And yeah, I
Digging
still ended up finding it quite funny.
So what ends up happening is they get in hijinks. Richard Pryor and Black Dynamite get separated.
They're at.
Um,
I sent you
and they
when I
go
was
to
watching
jail at one point.
when I was
Yeah.
watching this in the middle of the night. I sent you a couple of lines in the episode that like made me laugh.
The prison line. So they get arrested.
Well, they're in a
Oh,
diner.
it's because Richard Pryor.
Well, they're
They
in
leave
a
a diner, right?
they're in a diner, and like a couple of people are like heckling them. A couple of guys are heckling them,
Yeah.
and Black Dynamite says, "Okay, that's enough drinking and jiving, you drunk jive turkeys,"
That was pretty good. Drinking and jiving.
which made me laugh out loud. And then yeah, they're at the prison because they get arrested.
Because Richard Pryor's like, wow, so you're like a kung fu guy, because he kicks those guys' asses like really easily, throws them through the glass or something like that. And he's like, oh wow, you need to teach me some of those moves. And as he's goofing around, he pulls out Black Dynamite's gat, which is like half of the size of Richard Pryor, and like just starts shooting the air wildly. And he's like, Richard Pryor, stop shooting around my gun
And
haphazardly.
they accidentally shoot the tire of a cop car. And
yeah, and the two cops are just like leaning out the window, like. So it smash cuts to them
to
in jail.
them in jail, which I'm like, watching this, I'm like,
Fair.
well, no, I'm like, I don't think they would still be breathing after that, IRL.
That it's a good point.
Just
Yeah,
saying.
they were oddly super chill, given that They just heard like 5 shots go off, and one of them hit the vehicle,
And one of them
and they're
hit.
2 black guys.
I didn't want to necessarily want to say it out loud, but yeah.
Well, the whole show brings to light, like, and revolves around like different culture, racial issues.
The movie gets into it a lot more, but
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. And the show probably touches on it here or there. But yeah, it smash cuts to them in prison. So somehow Black Dynamite must have diffused the situation. And Richard Pryor,
well,
he's
and
talking.
in the movie, it turns out he is, and again, I don't know how canon the show is with the movie. Like I said, I
Mhm.
think it's kind of just a
Mhm.
reimagining of it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
in the movie, you find out that Black Dynamite actually is like an ex, like secret agent slash
Yeah.
cop guy. So he's
Yeah,
got
or
a
like
lot of
Black Ops or something, right?
so he's got a lot of friends and is respected by the police force.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, like he does bounty hunter work and
Yeah.
yeah. Or mercenary work as he calls it.
so
When they're
maybe that's how he diffused the situation. They're like, okay, we know you're Black Dynamite and you're okay, but we still got to throw you in the slammer.
because you just shot a police car.
Yeah.
Oddly, they're both thrown in, but a Richard Pryor is trying to like talk about his like struggles and like have like a serious moment.
Yeah.
Much like a King Midas curse, everybody except Black Dynamite thinks that everything Richard Pryor says is the funniest fucking shit ever.
Yeah.
Like as if it's an actual curse. Like he can be like, I'm like, I'm speaking from the soul here. You gotta like listen to me. I'm not making any jokes. And like people will be like slapping their knee and finding it like very funny. And so there's a moment there where Black Dynamite, the Richard Pryor is the yin to Black Dynamite's yang, and that
Yeah.
he is serious all the time and cool, right?
Mhm.
But everybody find and not funny, and everybody finds Richard Pryor hilarious, right? And cool. But the other thinks the other is in cool in ways they can't achieve themselves. And so he picks him up like in his arms. I can't even remember why. And what is he? He reprimands the people like laughing at him in the jail.
Yeah, because Richard Pryor starts like he's like pouring his soul out, and people are just still laughing because
About
of
wanting
this.
to be taken serious and him having real things to say.
And Black Dynamite like picks him up and like cradles him essentially, and it's like, shut the fuck up when grown men's is crying.
Shut the fuck up when grown men's is crying. I really like that.
I laughed.
There's some
I laughed
really
so
good
hard.
dialogue here.
I'm
like,
definitely gonna quote that in the future.
shut the fuck up when grown men's is crying. That's a really good line.
Yeah.
So they get bail, probably the orphanage or something like
That
that.
may end up being a soundbite in an eventual new intro for the show.
That's pretty good.
Shut the fuck up when grown men's is crying.
It's good. So they leave and they have like their moment. I can't remember at what point. I think it's at this point that like Richard Pryor like steals or takes his like truck full of money and disappears, and he goes back to the orphanage.
So Richard Pryor is like, they come to the truck worth of money, and Richard Pryor opens it up, and it's like filled with like millions of dollars. He's like, well, how about I pay off all of your taxes and give you a nice little nest egg if you just look the other way, and well, I get out of here. And he's like, no, Richard Pryor, I can't do that. I was hired to get you live on the Sunset Strip, and that's what I'm gonna do. And Richard Pryor is like, hey, look, the IRS. And he turns around, and he's like, I told you, motherfuckers, I had
till
until the
midnight.
15th.
Yeah.
And then as he turns around, Richard Pryor is like driving away.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait, Richard Pryor, what about my taxes?
And he's like, snooze, you lose, motherfucker. Or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
He goes and he rallies all the orphans
I
and the
just
prostitutes.
I love the implication that it's like, oh, because Richard Pryor got away, he's like, oh, well, can you at least pay my taxes then? After the fact.
He's woefully stubborn in ways that are a little frustrating, but because of the ridiculous nature of nothing really mattering on the show, it does better what the
And
problems I had with Ed, and Eddie,
Michael Jai White's delivery like really
and it's
sells
his
it.
delivery.
Yeah.
It just is, yeah.
He's great.
Um it Ed, and Eddie is about stupid people doing stupid things.
Yeah.
But if you're not a kid, it's really frustrating. The joke is that these people aren't making the right decisions.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the same point. Is it like the main characters are supposed to be like flawed and are doing dumb things? But I don't know why this works, and I disliked Ed, and Eddie so fucking much.
Well, the thing is in Ed, and Eddie, it's the things that they're doing are always at the expense of someone.
Instead of themselves. Riot. It's always a heist. It's always malicious intent. So when they get their just desserts, it's not like they get beat up at the end, or like they lose all their money, or like whatever. That's a good point. That's it. It's that the jokes in Black Dynamite are at their own expense instead of at the behest of like other people's trust.
Exactly, yeah. And usually their mistakes that they made are like at their own, like they fuck themselves over with their own like dumb mistakes,
but learn nothing.
But they're not like actively like or maliciously like causing harm to others, which is in Ed, and Eddie in the one episode that we watched.
Yeah, we previously reviewed that, and I went in being like, hey, I remember liking this. Well, if you want to see a shit on Ed, and Eddie, that's like 20 episodes back or so.
Oh, more than that now at this point.
Was it more?
Yeah, I think it was a couple of years ago now.
Apparently do some decent impressions of them, though, and then screw up their names. Like,
speaking of impressions, and Michael Jai White, I just want to throw this out there. I think he's too old now. Mid 2010s would have been a fantastic Blade in an MCU movie.
I always thought that, dude. I always actually thought that. I'm like, why isn't like this guy Blade?
If you're rebooting Blade, cast again. Now he's probably too old, but maybe like early to mid 2010s. If you're rebooting Blade, cast Michael Jai White.
Right. I need to think about it. If it was now, isn't there a new Blade coming out or already out, or?
Oh no, that's been in develop. It was announced in like 2019, but it's been in development hell for years now. It was supposed to be Mahershala Ali, which I thought wasn't the greatest choice because like Mahershala Ali is great. He's a great actor.
No, he is. Yeah. Doesn't feel Blade to me.
He's also not much younger than Wesley Snipes. So it's like if you're already casting,
and then when we saw Wesley Snipes in Deadpool, Silence Kitties in Deadpool, we're like, wait,
he's still
just
rad.
get Wesley Snipes.
Well, and that was my thought when they announced Mahershala Ali as Blade. I'm like, he's not that much younger than Wesley Snipes. If you're gonna like have an old man Blade movie, just fucking bring Wesley Snipes back. I'm sure he's game. And we found out, based on his appearance in Deadpool and Wolverine, that yes, indeed, he is game.
Yeah. There'll only ever be one Blade.
There's only ever been one Blade. Only ever going to be one Blade. And then Deadpool like awkwardly looks at the camera. I'm not usually big on meta humor, but
I'm not big on meta humor, but that one got me.
That one got me too.
Particularly because they're in like a multiverse situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, a movie with an old man Blade played by Wesley Snipes teaching like a new. Oh no, they tried that in Blade 3 and it was bad, right? Where he was teaching a new generation of like hunt. Nah, scrap that idea. I was gonna say that's basically what they tried to do in Blade 3.
Well, why not have an old man Blade movie where he finds out that I don't know, his daughter is also a daywalker, and like her powers like didn't her vampiric like powers didn't like awaken until she hit like young adulthood or something.
Or like Highlander, it wasn't until she encountered a vampire. Like
Or
in
like
Highlander,
in
you need to
Highlander,
die.
like she was like seemingly like killed or something, but then like
Yeah,
woke up and found out that
yeah,
and suddenly had vampire powers.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Or like fought a vampire, and in the presence of it, her like speed and strength and like whatever came out and been like, wait a
Or she
second.
got bit by a vampire, but instead of turning, it just awakened her like
There you
daywalker
that's it.
genes. Yeah, there we
That's
go.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
There we go. We
And then
just
the
wrote a
vampire was
Blade
like, what the fuck?
reboot.
We did it. We did it, folks. I think we could handle that. Oh geez, what else is here? Jumping back into the
You know, with a lot of our
cartoon.
headcanon ideas and like my like education in screenwriting, we probably could collaborate on like and like actually like write a pretty decent script.
Probably. After watching an ungodly amount of the what were those stupid ones with the vampires and lichens?
Oh, Underworld.
Underworld, thank you. One, there's an ungodly amount of those.
There's
Two,
like
they don't
5
get
of
better
them, I
than the
think.
first. Yeah.
No, well,
Well,
I'm gonna throw this out
wait,
there.
there was one that was that in
The
medieval.
prequel,
I was just going to
Rise of
say
the
there was
Lycans.
one set in the medieval
The one that
like
doesn't
era,
even
the
have
Dark
Kate
Ages.
Beckinsale in it. I would argue that is the best one.
I just remembered that, and you were like, "Well," and I was like, "Wait." There was a medieval, like a Dark Ages one, and that one was pretty good. And I forgot that she wasn't even in it.
Kate Beckinsale wasn't even in it. It's the only one that doesn't have her. And not saying that she's like part of the.
Not saying that
series'
movie's
problems,
even great, but that, well, actually,
but somewhat ironically, like the one that's actually like halfway decent is the one that doesn't have her in it.
I've watched enough of those to know that not only can anybody screenwrite or collaborate or help write, but that many people that do shouldn't.
That's right.
But to jump back to our review here, Richard Pryor blew all of his millions, not on cocaine, although probably some on cocaine, but blackjack.
Cocaine and whores.
Was it roulette? Yeah. He gambled. Oh, sorry, he was gambling, right? At with like he's like playing poker with like the not the Yakuza,
The
what's the
triads.
Chinese, the triad, or what he says, like a bunch of angry like Asian mobster dudes or something like that. Essentially the triads of the city. And they find him like in an alley, like making like a bunch of unhoused people like laugh. And it was like, wow, instead of him being at Richard Pryor at the Sunset Strip, he's out here in this dank alleyway drinking with home with a bunch of bums.
And he's making them laugh by basically just saying, like, I used to think that like my life kind of sucked, but like here I am standing in front of you guys and you're literally sitting in your own shit. Suddenly my life doesn't seem so bad, and they're just like laughing their asses off.
Yeah, and he's all like, you know what? And this is when Black Dynamite comes around to it. He's like, I get it now. Right.
Yeah.
And he comes around and they reconcile, and he's like, so you lost all the money. He's like, not only did I lose the money, they actually got me like in debt because I kept trying to win my money back. And well, let's just say I owe a bunch of angry Asian mobster guys like 1.5 mil or something like that. I think a mob goes after him at one point. There's a climax, and it's so all over the place in my head. Well, first they chase a guy that's on fire that they think is, I forgot. So they chase a crackhead down that they think is Richard Pryor,
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot about this.
And then it turns out it's
It is
not him.
actually really fucking funny. And he's running down the back streets and alleyways. And this is the fastest guy on fire you've ever seen in your life because he's climbing like the like emergency like escape ladders in the outside of like apartment buildings and stuff. And they finally get to him on a rooftop. And I think he shoots like a water tower or something.
It would have been funny. Well, not necessarily funny, but it would have been on on point
Oh,
with
he
the show's
stomps him
humor
out.
if they had called the man on fire Denzel.
Hell yeah.
Because Denzel Washington was in a movie called Man on
In a
Fire.
movie called Man on Fire.
It's not a particularly clever joke, but it like would have fit right
but it's
in.
there, damn it.
It would have fit
It
right
would have
in.
fit
with
more
the...
than the Terminator joke at the beginning of
Yes, actually.
So he stomps him out and he gets up and he's all like this burned, dirty, like what do they call him? Cokehead? Or they use some slang or slur, like whatever to crackhead. Yeah, that's it. And they're like, wait, you're not Richard Pryor. You're just some crackhead. And he's like,
Yeah.
of course I'm not Richard Pryor. Why would you
I don't
think?
hear the word crackhead on cartoons
Right?
very much.
That's why it felt weird to say. I was like, wait, is this a slur now? And they're like, why did you think I was like Richard Pryor? Well, you were running and you were yelling, don't run, Richard Pryor. And it was like, well, why were you running? Because I'm a crackhead who was on fire. What else am I gonna do?
And I'm not
something?
Richard Pryor.
And I'm not Richard Pryor. Why were you running up here? Oh, I was trying to put myself out with the water tower or something like that. Eventually, they go and they find him and they realize Richard Pryor is suicidal. He is on top of the Sunset Strip building.
Yeah, he gets him to the sunset, literally to the Sunset Strip. And evil producer, well, not evil, but just like
Evil manager guy, sleazy
producer guy.
Is coaxing him down with a baggie of cocaine.
And
Richard Pryor, get your fucking ass in there and make us money.
pretty much. And I don't know, something happens that like
He's suicidal and he doesn't want to come down because like one, he owes the Triad like millions of dollars, and two, like he wants people to take him seriously instead of just being like walking dollar signs.
and yeah, so I keep wanting to just call him Michael Jai White, but Black Dynamite tells producer guy, he's like, okay, well, I got you Richard Pryor here. He's like, but he's not inside the building. He's like, oh, that doesn't matter. Like I said, I would get you Richard Pryor live at the Sunset Strip.
And here he is.
And here he
He's
is.
alive.
And he's like, well, I'm not going to pay you. And he's like, well, what about my taxes? And he's basically like, tough titties or whatever.
Yeah.
And Michael Jai White's like trying to like talk like Richard Pryor down and like gives him like, oh, you have so much to live for. Like, don't jump, like yada, yada, yada. And then as soon as producer guy is like, well, I'm not going to pay you unless he gets down here. He's like, forget everything I said. Jump, Richard Pryor. Jump
Forget
down
everything I said. Jump down here right now, or so help me God. There's some some gunshots or something. I remember that. Yeah, that was great. Forget everything I just said. Get your black ass down here right now. And he starts getting shot at, or there's like explosions behind him or something, and he's like, oh shit, and he falls. Black Dynamite catches him. Mm-hmm. And then there's like a montage of he's like, oh shit, they're the angry, like those are the people, the straight people after me. Oh, those are the crackheads. Oh, there's the Triad, and all these people want to come and beat up. Oh, and there's also fans. That's what they are. So there's a montage of him blowing up, shooting, kicking, using Richard Pryor as a weapon, and beating up all the people like after him. There's car explosions. IRS are coming after him like too, and everything culminates in this big like action explosion like final scene, which was well done. And then Richard Pryor's like, wow, I guess we do have way different problems. Like for me,
there's a part in the movie The kung fu montage just made me think of it. There's a part in the
Oh,
movie
okay.
fairly early on where uh Black Dynamite is like beating up these guys in like a dojo,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the phone rings and he answers it and is like, "Hello? Who is this? Didn't I tell you not to interrupt me when I'm doing kung fu?" And he's like, "Oh, Mama, didn't I tell you not to interrupt me when I'm doing kung fu?" And then she tells him like that his brother is dead, and he like gets all mad at like all the other guys in the dojo, and he's like, "Go on, get out of here, get out of here! I never want to see any of you again." Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
I don't. The kung fu montage just made me think of that. I'm like, oh yeah, that was
Mhm.
another part of the movie I really liked.
Where the heck were we? Oh, Kung Fu montage. Yeah, kicks everybody's butt. Um, and then he's like, "Well, you know what? Like, uh, you did all right, Black Dynamite. I see you got your own problems, blah blah blah." And he's like, "Maybe I will go and do that show." But this is after
The sign
the
that
sign falls.
the sign falls and ends up crushing and presumably killing like sleazy producer guy.
Yeah, and he's like, "Wow, that could have been me." Anyways, I'm off to go do the show. And I think he hands a bag of money or something to him, and then they have like a laugh, and all of like the children and the horse are like there, and they're all like, "Oh, you Richard Pryor," and he's like, "Oh, try not to get killed by the IRS," and he's like, "And try not to do too much cocaine, Richard Pryor," or
And
something
so
something like that. And the
uh,
moment he has the money in his hand,
the
the
IRS shows
IRS
up.
drives by, leans out the window. "We'll take that."
Um, and he's like, well, at least, and he has nothing left, but he's like, well, at least my taxes are paid. He's like, oh, well, that's just the federal tax. You still have to worry about city and state taxes, and they're not as friendly as we are.
Oh, that's that's right.
And that was the episode. Cal, you just caught a random episode of Black Dynamite. Would you tune in
Mhm.
again?
So young me would have thought the hijinks were hilarious. But all of the adult things, all of like the racial humor or tension, all who Richard Pryor even is, all of that would have went over my head. And then adult me likes like I can understand all of those things and the situational and adult humor, but I find the hijinks almost a little bit too um childish
Hmm.
and not inconsequential.
Hmm.
Um, but I kind of went back and forth between this. I think I would give it another episode to see how different the episode is. If it can like run on other gags and like be funny. I think there was just enough here where I would tune in next week.
Okay.
I like the style of it, the writing.
I really
Like
like
there's
the
a lot of
animation
things
in the
that
show.
saved it for me. Yeah.
Well, this is a rare occasion, I think, where uh I would call this an anime because this style is very much like Japanese anime, even if it's an American production.
Western anime. Yeah, you could say it's Western
It's a Western
animation.
anime.
Yeah.
This is a rare example of an anime that it seems like I liked a lot more than you did. I thought this was hilarious. I liked all of the hijinks going on. I liked all of the like physical comedy. I liked
It had more than I liked.
uh,
More I liked than disliked.
I liked the I liked the animation style. I liked the dialogue. The characters are pretty funny. Um and a lot of that comes down to the fact that the voice acting in this show is quite fantastic.
Yeah.
I got to be honest, one thing. I actually know Richard Pryor more from Eddie Murphy's impressions of him
Me
in
too,
Eddie Murphy's
actually.
stand-up than actual like Rich. I've seen a few Richard Pryor movies, but he was
I can
never.
do an Eddie Murphy impression of him doing Richard Pryor more than I know what Richard Pryor actually sounds like.
When we're first introduced to Richard Pryor in the episode, he is like talking about taking a shit, which I think is actually a reference to Eddie Murphy's like stand-up bit, where when
Oh,
he because like Eddie Murphy, I think it was in Delirious, his first like big like HBO special.
yeah.
In Delirious, he talks about like how when he was a teenager, he did he loved Richard Pryor, and he would always do like his best like Richard Pryor on stage, but he would always talk about taking a shit because he was like, well, I was 15, that's all I'd ever done. And
Pretty good.
and yeah, he talks about like being like stuck on a toilet and like water splashing on your ass and stuff. And like Richard Pryor like comes out of the plane like delivering a bit very similar. So I don't know if
I
that's
remember that now.
I don't
I
know if that's
remember that.
actually a Richard Pryor bit or if they're just referencing Eddie Murphy's like Richard Pryor bit. I'm not sure. But anyway,
Let us know if you know.
let us know in the comments if you know. But anyway, yeah, I would tune in again. I don't know that I would go and buy. I had to buy this episode because it wasn't available to stream anywhere. I don't know that I would go and buy the entire series, but if it was available to stream somewhere, I would totally like put it on.
Oh yeah, especially if it was uncensored.
Yeah, if it was on like, I don't know, like Amazon Prime or Prime Video or like Disney Plus
Whatever,
or
yeah.
something, yeah. Then I would totally watch it. I wouldn't actually like seek it out to purchase it though. And so there you have it. That was episode 151 / number 1, episode 1 of the Blockbrothers show. If you want to support us, go to patreon.com/lasercomb, LAZORCOMB. Starting at the $5 tier, you get access to our bonus weekly-ish. We've been off for a couple of weeks now, but we're back by the time you're hearing this. Patreon exclusive podcast, the Callan Siege Super Show. There's over 100 of those now. At the $10 tier, as I mentioned earlier, you can pick a show for us to review a random episode of on this podcast. Or at the $20 tier, you can pick the episode as well as the show, and also pick a programming block where we will cover 4 episodes in a row of shows of your choosing. So if you want to get in on that, go to patreon.com/lasercomb. Join the Discord, link in the description. As always, if you want to interact with us, it really is the best way, as neither of us are very public-facing social media people anymore.
You
have a TikTok video that went viral.
It was my cat.
Yeah, it was of your cat.
Yeah,
Which,
that's right.
I mean,
It was like
fair.
millions of likes and dozens of millions of views, stolen everywhere and reposted.
I've seen it pop up in my feed on Instagram quite a few times now, and I'm like, hey.
Hey.
So far, everyone has credited you, though.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So,
that's
like,
good.
I've never... if I see one that's not credited, I'm going to be like, listen here, motherfucker.
Listen here, motherfucker.
That's my
I've called
friend's
people out,
video, damn
They
it.
came and like deleted my comment, and I've commented again, and they've deleted my comment, and I'm like, hey, notice you're only deleting my comment saying that you didn't credit me. What's up with that? And then like blocked my account, and I'm like, wow, some people are really shameless. Can't hit the edit button and then just say at @neo_cal at TikTok.
Yeah.
It's more effort to go and repeatedly delete my comment or block me than credit my dear cat.
Hashtag stolen valor.
Hashtag stolen valor. What's next? Stealing a meme? A delectable Chinese meme? Thieving cunts?
Thieving cunts that you are. I will say, so that's a reference to a Cal like reposted a meme like years ago, and someone on Twitter like got their panties in a bunch calling him a thieving cunt. I actually have like thieving cunt has like joined my like vocabulary.
Yeah.
Like
it's important that you use it. What's the word I'm looking for? Not seriously or
well, here's a good example. A couple months ago, someone at work stole my lunch. which has never actually happened to me before. So
Never
and it
happened to
hasn't
me
happened
either.
since, but I was like, huh, someone stole my lunch. But since then, I've been referring to them as I'm like, someone here is a thieving cunt.
Nice.
And every time I bring it up, I'm like, well, some thieving cunt stole my lunch a couple months ago. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's
but
not my
yes,
fault I can hashtag things better than you.
that's right.
That's right.
We'll be back next week with Jared's next pick, which is, let us find out by going to the Discord. So he didn't get, I don't think he gave us, he didn't really give us a particular order. At least I don't
Okay.
think. But it looks like he kind of just went in alphabetical order. But yeah, Boondocks,
Hell yeah.
Moon Girl, and Devil Dinosaur, Craig of the Creek. Which one of those do you want to do?
Boondocks.
I've only heard of two of them, and
All right, let's go with Boondocks. You've heard of
Boondocks is
that.
one of them.
Yeah.
Um, no relation to Boondock Saints,
None whatsoever.
which is a movie that everyone our age seems to fucking love, but is a movie that is completely and still
There's
trashed by
another
critics.
there's another millennial movie where like during college everybody like held my eyes open and forced me to watch it.
I've had so many people, even people whose like tastes I generally like
Mhm.
have respect for, still be like, "Oh, Boondock Saints is like the best fucking movie ever." And it's like, okay, but
What
like literally,
adults?
yeah,
Uh,
but
okay.
but but like literally, like every critic who I follow, still like to this day trashes it as being like one of the worst movies of the 2000s. So I'm
I,
like,
I I don't know about worse, but it's overrated for me. I remember watching and going, huh. Another one was like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Everybody like furiously like screaming about how I had to watch it. And I was like, oh, that was pretty good.
this is a
It's
little
like Guy
more,
Ritchie, right?
yeah, that one's a little more revered than Boondock Saints.
Yeah.
But speaking of Guy Ritchie, not that it's a Guy Ritchie movie, but Caught Stealing. Everyone. It's a movie
Oh
that kind of
yeah.
came and went last year, but it's one of my favorite movies of the year. Caught Stealing's great, but it's got a very like if Guy Ritchie was American vibe.
If Guy Ritchie was American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got that Guy Ritchie vibe, but it's set in New York and is largely about American characters. But yeah, I'm going to hit screen share to figure out what episode of Boondocks we're going to be watching.
Ooh.
I have so many screens. I'm like, which one? Which one do I choose?
Which screen?
I choose this one. Boondocks has 55 episodes in total, so we're going to go to the random number generator. One of these days, maybe they'll sponsor the show. How many episodes did I say?
55.
55. One episode between 1 and 55, and here we go. Come on, big money, no whammies. 36. Oh,
Ooh.
one number away from 37. The magic
So
number.
close.
36. Episode 6 of season 3, Smoking with Cigarettes. Well, there it is.
Smoking with cigarettes.
We'll be back next time with that. And until then, I've been Christopher Siege, one of your hosts.
And I'm NeoCal, your other host.
Thanks for listening. We will black your dynamite next time.
Oh, geez. We'll kung fu your ass next time.